In this video, we're going to go over how to graph sine and cosine using their phase shift. So for the first problem, I'm going to set what's inside of the parentheses between 0 and 2 pi. We're going to add pi on both sides. Then we have pi, 4x, and 3 pi. Now divide both sides by 4. You will get pi over 4, x, and 3 pi over 4. So this tells me this is my starting point, and that will be our ending point. And the period, you can get it by the difference of these two, which is pi over 2. Or you can do 2 pi over b. In our case, b is 4. So we're going to use 2 pi over 4, and that's also pi over 2. You can double check your period, right? So we can tell our amplitude is 2. Period is pi over 2. And we know that we have to start at pi over 4. And our highest point, because of amplitude, will be 2. And our lowest point, the minimum, will be -2. And we know that our graph should end at 3 pi over 4. And in order to have these 5 key points, I know that I have to use period divided by 4, because every quarter of the way we have our key points. So it will be equal to pi over 8. So I'm going to add pi over 8 to pi over 4. So if I make this as a 2 pi over 8, and if I add pi over 8, I'm going to get 3 pi over 8, 4 pi over 8, 5 pi over 8, and then is that equal to 6 pi over 8? Yes, it is, right? So my points will be 2 pi over 8, 2, 3 pi over 8, 0, 4 pi over 8, -2, 5 pi over 8, 0, and 6 pi over 8, 2. So these are the 5 key points I can get from 2 cosine 4x minus pi. Now for our next problem, I'm going to set what's inside the parentheses between 0 and 2 pi. Add 4 on both sides. Divide both sides by 4 pi. Then you should get 1 over pi. And when you divide 4 pi for your right-hand side and you simplify, you get half plus 1 over pi. This tells us that 1 over pi is your starting point. And half plus 1 over pi is your ending point. And we can find our period by using our endpoint minus starting point, which is equal to half. That should be your period. You can double check by using our b value, which is 4 pi. And this also gives us half as our period. So that's absolutely true. And our starting point and end point is true as well. Our amplitude is 3. And using these informations, I'm going to graph. So my starting point, you said, will be 1 over pi. My end point will be half plus 1 over pi. And we can find the rest of the key points by using period divided by 4, because every quarter of the way we have our key point. So period, we had half, then divided by quarter way, we 1/8. So I'm going to use 1 over pi plus 1 over 8. And then add another 1 over 8, I get 2 over 8. And then for our next key point, I add another 1/8 to 1/pi plus 2/8. I get 3/8. And then is that equal to 1/pi plus 4/8? Yes, it is, right? So we did it correctly. And then we know that our amplitude is 3, therefore max is 3, minimum is -3. So for our coordinate points, it will be 1/pi, 0, 1/pi plus 1/8, 3, 1/pi plus 2/8, 0, 1/8 plus 3/8, -3. Lastly, it will be half plus 1/pi, 0.